Welcome to another episode of Ground Floor, where we can agree to disagree, still be family. I'm your host, my co-host, Brother Rome. It's out on business. Maybe joined by panelist Khia shortly. Sonya, she's out taking care of herself as well. God put on my heart to really tackle mental health, since it's mental health awareness for men. So this is part one of a part two episode. Oh, there she go. Bring it to the stage, my amazing panelists, alumni. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
I was just telling the audience, God put on me to do this two-parter about mental health. First few questions will deal with yourself. Next week, when Ron come back, we deal with relationships. So first question, how you feeling right now?
Oh, say that again.
How you feeling right now?
That's a great question. I'm tired. I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mentally tired too?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Going into today, I was like, I'm good. And then as they continued on, I realized I'm exhausted. So I can't wait to get some sleep.
I've been there before.
Yeah. Just to get that mental rest, man. I need to rejuvenate and be able to start my day. Go ahead and start my day on Sunday. I'm looking forward to going to service.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's like um that's the start to every day of mine anyway. But like Sunday is refresh time,
Okay. Feel that?
Yeah. Sunday is refresh time.
For me, I'm very excited and happy that my anthology book made it number one on the anger management listing on Amazon.
Okay.
So I've been all day going to my platforms. Let me add best selling on there now. I have that. That's like a championship to me in writing books. Pretty cool. It was showing me how to market my stuff more. But prior to that, it's been a little up and down because been some promising job opportunities, but you're a dude. I've been taking care of myself since 14, so it's like, what the hell?
Right. Exactly.
That's the biggest part. That way, the mental battle, to tune out the voice. Like, another month. I know. I got it. Shut up. Do some other stuff. Work stuff. We're gonna figure it out. What are you doing to be good?
What am I doing to be good? So what I'm doing to be good is actually opening my mouth.
Okay.
Different things with people. So I think so many times when people ask us, we get so used to this recurring dialogue, right? Hey, bro, how you doing? First thing he says, I'm fine, I'm good, right? And how's everything been going? How life been treating you? It's like, oh, I'm good, same old. I can't call it, that whole
Yeah.
So we get so used to just saying the same things over and over again. And so, just like when you just asked me the question, like, how you doing today? Normally used to be that I would be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, everything's good. Like, but what I've started doing is just saying, like, I don't dump, but at the same time, I'm like, been a challenging day, been a little rough today, and I think by me being able to share just that aspect of it and get it out, then it'll
Mm-hmm.
to be able to breathe, and I don't feel,
Yeah.
so heavy. And it's not a thing where all the time it's a call to help, but it's just being authentic and saying like today's a rough day. However, I'm still good, but today is just.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things that I'm doing. The other thing is making sure that I'm around people that one, have a relationship with God, two, are able to pray,
Okay.
right? and,
Yeah.
and three, that strive for better and continue to have and maintain a positive attitude, right?
Okay.
um, it's real important for me to have people that's in my circle that encompass or believes or have those principles, because being around a bunch of negative people all the time will
Man.
drain life out of you, right?
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So what about you?
We never lie.
What you doing?
Um,
Oh, to be good. That's what you asked. What you doing to be good?
what I find myself doing now is getting back to music. I even cleaned off my keyboard, my acoustic guitar, so I'm starting to mess with those. Been working on songs for the third album, and since I got an album of my comedy movie done, really getting lost in that story. It's like, okay, you doing something productive, so I mean, yeah, I know you've been in the season. God told you ain't do nothing wrong. He gonna use this to show people that need to see he's real or something. So you put on your shoulders, you can deal, but it's gonna turn the page. So be ready for when the page turn and you about to be doing what you're supposed to do. Even
Mm,
talked to a former guest about doing my book signing at her spot. That's doing great. So
mm,
working more on the brand, Dub has been. I don't hear the voices. Cause boy, they were talking like, "Where that money at, Jeff?" Like, you got that Ricky Flair taste, baby. Oh, we can't. Well, you don't eat no junk no more. You don't slut no more. So we're gonna get that water right. Like, well, I already bought some water, but you ain't got abundance though. Like, man, shut up. I got enough. But them boys it's gonna have something to say to you every time you give an answer. Like, nah, man, but we ain't up like we normally be. Like, don't worry about that. We good. I'm trusting God. Shut up. Leave me alone.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you navigate your mental health when you're the one everyone leans on for encouragement, prayer, things like that?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? And what I was saying, just having that circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all have to have somebody that we lean on. Even the highest leaders need
Yeah.
other mentors, leaders, accountability partners, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's that. And just maintaining what has helped kept me really grounded is maintaining my spirituality and my connection with God. Without that, I know I would be lost. Right. So just making sure that I have that and being able to like I said, connect with the other people that
Mm-hmm.
mostly my intimate circle, my ride or dies. It's real important for all of us to have those close people that we can be real with and we can be authentic with. Um and then the other thing is just maintaining my authenticity in everything that I do. I know a lot of people say that they do that, but not really, because most people are trying not to look bad. They want to look good,
Uh-huh.
hearing that, but it's like you got to be true to you 100%.
Yeah, that's true. For me, my community of people, I talk with daily. My mom was always encouraging, helpful. My homeboy Yanel. It seemed like when Drum called, like him or Joe, like, was that my dad up there? Like, man, your man needs you. Just holler at your boy real quick. And I don't be down, but you like, they would call real encouraging, like, man, they called right on time. It's kind of weird. I'm like, okay, respect. My cousins, we recently got back in contact with each other, so when we talking about stuff we dealing with, like, man, you on the path, bro. Just stay the course. God got you. He got you right where he wants you.
Exactly. Isn't it amazing though? Like you said, is your dad saying, "Hey, holla at your boy"? Isn't it amazing though? Like when people call exactly when you need them to call, or you have that conversation, and you like, "Dang, I was just thinking about that." Like, and now in this conversation, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know. No, it's like divine intervention. You know what I mean? Like,
Man, I'm telling you, Joe and Drone be like, first thing, what up, man? How you feeling? I know things going, but you good? I'm like, hey, honey. Like they just pierce, like maybe someone is up there, like, hey, he need that right now. Let me chop it
mm-hmm.
up. All right, well, keep your head up, bro. I got you. Need help, some, but keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, all right, give me a little more pick me up. Keep it going. Because now I wasn't trying to do all this. I'm like, man, bump all this crap, man. Ain't up like I'm supposed to be. Nope, nah. Then me and Ron had a talk once recently. Like, I mean, people don't think people ain't watching me encourage that because you got to be honest that they know you unemployed, you doing stuff to be employed, but you still putting the energy behind doing this. Some people all up in the corner. I'm like, well, no, I mean, God gonna bug the crap out of me if I do that. So I'm still do the work, because it's moving stuff forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that I have learned is when you're obedient to what he says do, everything else falls into place. So you forever,
Mm-hmm.
he'll supply all your needs. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So with that being said, just keep doing what you called to do and what you purpose to do. Everything else will fall into place.
Mm-hmm. Are you or have you seen a therapist, pastor, counselor? Well, I guess same thing.
Nope, I haven't seen a therapist. I haven't had a therapist or a counselor. I have done a lot of self-development though.
Okay.
So I haven't had a therapist, but I've done a lot of self-development in terms of um programs, trainings,
Mm-hmm.
just reading, seminars, all of that type of stuff. I have done that, but I haven't seen a therapist or had a counselor.
Okay. I've been thinking about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, get a chance. I probably might do it just do a under the hood check, make sure I dealt with everything that if I haven't noticed it. So when everything is up, I ain't got to deal with none of that stuff trying to linger. You
Mm,
know,
yeah.
well, just watching others from afar who become very successful in what they've been working on. You busy. Then you employ people, so you got a lot of hats. You're busy, so make sure mentally you dunking on people. Like, no, we good on that. I ain't got no issues.
Uh,
Let's make sure this and this get done. Because I'm just noticed from afar watching people that I admire. Like, they never dealt with that.
mm,
Oh, that's why they crashing out in that moment. Like, 'cause something triggered it, and they just getting it out. Like, maybe make sure do a check. Make sure you dealt with all that stuff. I mean, you ain't perfect, but
mm-hmm.
like, dang, for that to trigger you like that, man, they ain't realize it just needed someone just to nudge it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, one of the things, um, like at our church, shout out to Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me say that all the time, right?
Dev let them know.
1831 Ewald Circle,
Let them
where
know.
AC Pierce the second is my pastor. But yeah, so our first lady is a therapist, and so one of the things that they
Okay.
all talk about is Jesus and therapy. Like, that's one of the things, that's their brand, right? And so they're always
Okay.
talking about that. So saying like, it's cool to have Jesus, but you need therapy. You can have a therapist too. And one of the things that she often says, shout out First Lady Shade Pierce, is that you can have a therapist when nothing is wrong. You know, like so many times,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, something has to be wrong with you to have a therapist. Like, no, but sometimes you can just go just for what you were saying. I need to go to check what's under the hood just to have a mental checkup. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's good. It's another thing to, you know, we always talk about our physical checkups. We talk about our physical checkups and just
Mm-hmm.
to the doctor to make sure that you're good. You don't necessarily go when something is wrong. Usually when something is wrong, it might be too late. And so you don't want to run that risk. So why not have a therapist just to go to say, hey, nothing's wrong. I'm just coming to see you to see, like, is this some
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing? Am I good? Is there some things that's underlying that I might have missed?
That's
Or
true.
I want, how about this? I want to maintain being good. So this is why I'm checking in, you know. So I think that that's good that you said that, you know, that's something that you're thinking about by going just to check what's under the hood and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, just from me watching people, like, okay, whether they was following the devil or God to do it, they got to that point. But that new stuff that come with it, are you prepared for it? And that's something people might not think about. Like, okay, I want to be famous. I want to doing this or that. All right, you spoke it. You there?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't know all these meetings with these investors, this board, the stockholder. Like, what the? I didn't think about that. Like, yeah. So I'm taking notes. Like, yeah, you didn't think about that stuff. So why you always good? I go get checkups.
Mm-hmm.
But you crazy as hell, and if I give in, I'll put you to a table. But that won't do nobody no good. So let's come to an agreement and get this money.
Right.
People, what you say?
Right.
You heard push through that table, but I get checkups, so I don't go there. I'm like, well, you should get a checkup too, because something's wrong with you. Why you being like this? That made me want to put you through a table. And I'm pretty sure when the higher up you go, you encounter people like, don't try to pass your pain to me. I'm good.
Yeah.
Go deal with it.
Yeah.
Because you keep on, you're going to see the old me like, DTMX, so and so laid somebody out. Like, oh, they kept pushing. Like I said, I'm in the killer, but don't push me.
Mm-hmm.
So let me be. You know,
Absolutely.
have you dealt with your childhood trauma?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Um, that I believe was true. That's some of the hardest work I think that I've ever done is dealing with it. And I think the beauty is beauty in dealing with your trauma, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
so many times people get so caught up into not wanting to face the realization. But you know what? My desire to be healthy outweighed my desire to avoid what was going on or what had gone on in my life.
Okay.
My desire to for me to be healthy, to have healthy relationships, to be the best version of myself outweighed the fear of facing the things that I had gone through, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So um and so with that is I definitely dealt with the trauma. Now, here's the deal though. Some things you go through, you don't even realize until something triggers something, right? And you like, where did that come from? So, is there another level? You know, is there something else that might need to be uncovered? I don't know. But I know that that's some of the most it was some of the most challenging work that I had done, but the most rewarding as well because the freedom that comes after that is indescribable, right? So,
Okay.
yep.
My cousin for tuning in. And
Hey,
if
hey, hey.
you have an issue, we have the national hotline 988, where they can help you with that if you're a mental issue. They put that together, I think, a few years ago, where now they have a central number that you call for that, which is great. Because We never called it mental health, but that's been a thing for years, especially in the Black community. Like, oh, they just touched. Like, nah, they need some help.
Right.
It ain't no just touch, man. They need to go talk to somebody that'd be right. For me, it's been over the years, because I mean, I never really thought about it when it was 89. I was playing with my G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Then my dad had slowly walked to the front, and I'm just having a conversation with myself, like, you graduate in 7 years. Hopefully here, but he might be in a wheelchair because his health is deteriorating. Or he might not be here. But I'm hoping for the latter. So when 91 came and he passed, we're like, it was a blow. It was like, well, we saw this coming. We went, I guess God prepared you. You know, and then over time, like senior year, every 5th hour, at some point, I get depressed, go look out the window. Then one day, shout out to Nicole. She came over. Like, every time we with the group, cracking jokes, we walk over here. And I was telling her, like, well, God got you, right? Then you start feeling kind of foolish, like, well, yeah, so why you listen to the devil then? Stay with the group, man. Well, I'm coming over here every day until you stay in the group. And she did not disappoint. It was getting the best of me. Another day went over there. She's like, so what do you think about your Punk Lakers or whatever? Like, what? I told you I'm be over here. You over here at the window? I'm at the window. I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm good. I'm stay over here now. I'll write a song then. Like, yeah, do that. Do something productive. With your H squad. Like, oh, there she go with that boy. Shout out to the code, but she definitely helped break that cycle of it away on me. You know?
That was Spanish.
Yeah. Was that
Spanish class?
Yep. I don't know if you was in there. You may have been.
No, I wasn't. I was.
We had Mr. Connors.
Latin.
Okay. Yeah, we had Mr. Connors.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know Jerome, Kurt, Enoch, I think Randy, Cole, and a few other people. And we all just be over there because Mr. Connors, we thought, like, man, here you go with these whopper tails. Man, I used to play basketball. I used to sky for the rebound. Like, come on, man. He was tall as hell, though. We like, sky for the rebound. I could dunk on Shaq. Like, come on, bro. Dunk on Shaq. Really, Mr. Connors. Shout out to him if he's still living, man. He made our senior year, man. But the whopper tails to us, like, so I guess aliens just, you gonna break bread with them too. Because it's a whop. You gonna dunk on Shaq. Like, the NBA can't dunk on Shaq. Like, come on, man. When we cry, go laugh.
Right.
But over the years, I got in my mid-20s, then I started realizing what you miss, those conversations to have with your pops about real life shit.
Mm-hmm.
And God will put someone around where I can chop it up with them and help me navigate it. To where now, I've been wondering, like, you know, you working on a movie script, Jay. You got a very vivid imagination. Well, you stopped being a kid at 12 to figure out, like, Detroit was rough, but that kid was still there, and it's coming out through. You are able to, through the grace of God, go research it, get the gist of what the formula is, and through trial and error, reduplicate it. That ain't me. So you definitely seeing that you never lost that innocence to just imagine a galaxy to whatever. Because it takes, shout out to all the creative people here, it takes a lot to make something of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I look at Star Wars, the Marvel, DC Universe, like, these people made these characters back before we was born, probably. And the whole world know about them now. When we was in high school, you read comics, you old geek, like, and then fast forward, they're the hottest movies you want to see.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me nothing about Wolverine.
Oh man, when I went to see, was it X-Men or Spider-Man with the squad?
Mm-hmm.
I had a few people like, so we got 10 minutes, Jeff. Who A, B, C do you like? Oh, you don't like comics though. Man, we ain't got to talk about that right now. Who are these people? Like, okay, I get the gist of the story. So you want me sending like, what is this? And I've explained it to him. Like, okay, this stuff is cool. Like, yeah, you can play basketball and read a comic. You can do both.
Absolutely.
You know, because back then, like, oh man, I ain't doing that. Like, ain't wrong, really. You ain't in the street. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in prison now. Like, man, I probably should have read a book or a comic or something different than this. Ain't no women there. You get out of line, cops slap you around. Like, that's not fun. Have you forgiven the person or persons who caused your childhood trauma?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it a hard process for you? It'll take you some time?
The whole part of healing was a process that took time
Okay.
and was challenging. So absolutely, right? Number one, just seeing it's just a process in and of itself, but I think
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, I started to understand that the forgiveness wasn't for the other person, it was for me. And I know people say that all the time, but it truly really is, because
Yeah.
other people will continue to live their lives and not even, either they won't take responsibility, or either they have no clue even what it is that may have harmed you, and you're the one harboring the bitterness, or whatever else that might show up from you being harmed. So
Mm-hmm.
like, and then the other thing is, what role and responsibility can I play in any of it, right? And what does that look like? And so once again, and then I have a choice. Either I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be bitter, or I'm gonna be bitter, and I choose to get better. Now, as I got older, does that mean that things haven't happened, and I still have to practice and learn forgiveness every day? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't come lightly, but it is a choice, though. We all still do have a choice. It's either, are you going to forgive and let it go, or are you going to keep holding on to the resentment and, the anger or what have you? The sadness, are you going to keep playing victim, or are you going to be a victor? Like, what that you want to do. So we get to choose it. We get to choose it. The choice and the control is still on our end. And so once I started seeing like the impact of holding on, because you got a choice. You can hold on to it. If you want to hold on to it, you can,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
True.
fine. The whole thing is, there's an impact to you holding on to it. You can be right all day long. You can be righteous about it and
Yeah.
justify. You can have people validate everything that you're going through, but at the same time, there's still an impact on that. Like, are you free? Do you have great relationships? Are you able to move on with your life and control yourself and your temperament? Like, there's an impact on all of that. Are you still struggling? Do you have burdens? Are you feeling like you shackled? Right. So, but yeah, so for me, it's like seeing the impact and not being free. And freedom is one of my high values. Seeing that holding on to that was keeping me in bondage and not allowing me to have love and vitality and uh,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Is like, no, I choose to be responsible. I choose to be generous, right? I choose to forgive. So,
Okay.
yep. What about you?
Um, God used a former ex in '02 to mend relationship me and my mother, because she was trying to be helpful the best she could and talking down to me, thinking that helped build me up, but she didn't know I had developed my own ego. You know, I always call myself the greatest man alive because I achieve it. That's how I feel. So I was my own hype man, and for years that did create that. Oh, nah, I treated women well, but man, me and her, she can go somewhere. And they're like, But that's your mom you talking about. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I made peace with that. What's the problem? You can't feel that way. Like, who says that? When that turned to a debate, like, I ain't treating you like dirt. Or I ain't never do that. But me and her, now we're cool on that. Like, nah, you gotta deal with that. Like, oh, here we go with this. But God put on my heart, like, oh, you had to say the G word. Now here we really go. Dude, can you go find something else to do right now? I was good. I don't want to deal with this. No. And after a 4-hour conversation, some stuff I didn't know they dealt with that trumped my little pain. Like, okay, I have a conversation. And the following day I did, and they called to see, did I do it? Like, okay. And I'm sitting there like, you crafty. Because, I love that girl. And I would, anybody else tell them get the hell on, that's it. I ain't going to the funeral. I'm good on that. But choosing someone that would get through. You crafty, brother. I got to give you that one. Because I'm sitting listening. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I try to save this life, like, no, I've been through that. Jeff, you ain't going to win. You have to just accept. You got to fix it. I don't want to. I'm pretty sure people might feel that way too. Like, man,
right.
I don't even want to be in the room for that type of environment. I'm good. I know. You got to fix it. Because this person, God has put on your head, and they're not leaving it alone until they know you have confirmed you done it. And they did. Got text at work. You talk to yet like, I'm going to do it when I get off work. Back up. Leave me alone. Like, nope. God told me you stay on his head because he's stubborn. Like, yeah, he know the kid he made, man. You ain't wrong about that one.
Right.
And I texted her or called her. She called after she got her work. Like, I don't know why, but God was like, your job is to make sure he fixed that. I'm like, that's powerful. Okay. Yeah, I fixed it. We good. And it's like, funny now that I talk to her all the time about whatever. Like, never thought I had a relationship with my mom.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta you have to when you start weighing the cost, weigh the cost of it all, right? I think that's the thing. Don't really look at what they're missing because they don't know that they're missing anything. And so many times you try to be so stubborn, because we gotta be right. Like, no, they did me wrong. And they did. Right? Nobody's negating that. However, we just have to start to look at what's the cost of it on us holding on to it. You risk your mental health, you risk your physical health, you risk missing out on so many different things. Like you were just talking about the relationship you now have with your mom. I'll talk about whatever, anything, right? So in not repairing your relationship, you will miss out on all of this. Like, I was talking last week when we were talking, because it was the Father's Day issue. If I had not repaired the relationship with my dad, we wouldn't have a relationship that we have now, where I can talk to him about anything. He can call me about anything. We just be in the presence of one another. Like I said, he said, I want some jalapeno.
Yeah,
jalapenos. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm there, and we gonna do it. And so now we're able to make memories. Memories that, and if I hadn't if we hadn't repaired that relationship, right, I wouldn't be able to say that we have these memories now. I wouldn't. But I'm not. We ain't even in each other's face. Like I don't talk to you. I don't get down with you, dude. Right. And so the thing is, we always talk about we want to know our future. We want to know, and we fathom. We couldn't have. I couldn't have fathomed that we would have had such a close relationship because it wasn't there. Right. And it took growth on both our parts. But like I always said, and when you were talking about the lesson that was learned, is that learning to fight for love. Right. And so my father fought for our relationship. Right. And saying no, I still want to have a relationship with you. Now, at the time, I didn't see it as fighting. People might think like that mean like he was just on my head. Like, no, not that. But just constantly saying like, hey, what you doing? How you doing? building relationships, wanting to spend time, those types of things. Um and like you, um me having a friend that made sure that he was like, nah, that's your pops though. And I'm like, you don't understand. You just don't get it. He be you know how we get, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like, no, come on, we're going to see your old dude, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. And so, with that, it getting out of your own way is important. And
Mm-hmm.
reconciliation in anything is always possible when there are two parties that are willing. Now, I ain't
True.
know when it's just you on your own, then nah. But when it's two parties that are willing and both are willing to get out of their own way in order for it to happen, then it will. And it's so much easier to be
Yeah. I
emotionally
remember
stable.
me and Jerome had a conversation about those issues we both had with our moms and how it affected us in dating and not really realizing it. Like, dang, it does play a factor. Okay.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
and it's funny that my mom always tell me, like, when she was pregnant with my second oldest brother. No, my first oldest. A pastor had told her the oldest would be a pastor. The second one would do some with numbers. He's an accountant. The third one would be a nurse. My sister's nurse. I'm like, damn, he's kind of accurate. And the last one, I do something with music and other stuff to take you all the way around the world. He said that before we was even born. Like, damn, I am doing stuff that's going to take me around the world at some point. Like, that dude for real, for real. He's 4 for 4. Now, can you admit to yourself your childhood trauma even happened? Because a lot of people don't even want to address that part.
Yeah.
What
How
what
can you?
made you address yours?
Like I said, I wanted to be a better person. I realized that it was something there that was keeping me stuck and keeping me bound, right? And like I couldn't reach the levels that I wanted to reach if I kept holding on to it. It was too heavy. So I had to let it go. And then another thing that I realized is if I keep holding on to everything, I'm gonna be alone. And that was one of the things that I didn't want, right? I wanted
Mm-hmm.
relationships are important to me. Love
Okay.
all forms is important to me. So I had to be like, nah, you gotta let bag lady.
It was a bag lady. Shout out to everybody. Now, this
Yeah.
question will lead to next week. Have you taken your childhood trauma into past relationships or a recent one now?
In what way?
Um, in any way that wasn't healthy and helpful to further your relationship.
Um, ever? You talking about ever?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, heck yeah. Didn't you hear me say I felt like if I kept doing what I was doing, I was gonna be by myself.
Oh, you was with somebody at that time you had that revelation?
uh, Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I looked at my history, right? One of the things in terms of taking responsibility for who you are, taking responsibility for things is not looking at everything as the other person's fault, right? And so
Okay.
what I kept saying was like, regardless of what it may be, and so I had to say, okay, if I'm constantly in relationships where I feel like somebody is doing me wrong, then what is it that I'm doing that's allowing myself to continue to be in these type of relationships, or what is it that I'm doing to attract that? What is it that I'm doing to project that? Right? It is my picker wrong? Like what really is going on, and also understanding that some relationships aren't meant to be forever. Some are just
Mm-hmm.
or so it's not. That's another thing in terms of taking stuff into relationships. If I'm constantly thinking that I'm not enough, even if it's a relationship just out of season, then I'll make myself wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just like, no, some people just here for a season, and there's lessons to be learned and to be taught. So, yeah, and looking at, like I said, and looking at so many different things, like, okay, you got to get responsible for what's been going on, and not just keep pointing the finger at other people, because obviously, you hold some responsibility. Take two to tango, and you was in that. You know what
That's true.
yeah. So
Yeah.
with I just had to take responsibility. But yeah, when did you have a revelation of you was holding on to some stuff when it came to relationships?
Yeah, I had to write down so I don't forget it. I realized I didn't trust women because I didn't trust my mom. So I was invested, but not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing was, no, I mean people that's part time with me, they ain't down for your boy, like, but you don't realize you're only throwing out what they're catching with your hook.
Mm-hmm.
Because deep down, you don't want a relationship. You want to be home level friends. You can't conceive truly a full committed relationship because you don't have one with your mom. You think on some level when it's up. It's your
Mm-hmm.
mom's up. You don't say it out loud, but through action, you showing like, I trust you only so far. And that shows, and if you don't do the work to fix that about yourself, over time, the situation will part. And
Mm-hmm.
once I did start saying, okay, I ain't ready for full time now, but I'm cool with part time, I stopped meeting people that will look at it part time. And I realized, okay, so you really do attract where you at
Mm-hmm.
mentally because you're throwing out that hook that you don't realize. But doing that work, and especially more over the years, has helped me grow in that area. So if I do be with someone, I don't mind sitting through emotional, uncomfortable conversations because, especially with guys, like, man, it's gonna be that most confrontation I can't do it. Like, it's not scary. A female taught me how to go through it. The goal is to get a resolution and put to bed the issues and move forward.
Exactly.
Don't do it with your friends, but you and the mate never come back to it and actually do it. Y'all got to sit there, whether you drink Jack, water, Gatorade, have a Bible, whatever, and have that conversation. Put it all on the table. Don't care how pretty messy it is, but get it all out. Put it there. What can y'all sit through? Come to common ground, agree with, delete the rest, and start a new move forward.
Absolutely. You
That's what
said
I think.
mouthful right there was all the cards on the table. Like I said, you got to be authentic. And so many times we pretend, right?
Yep.
Because you don't want to lose that person, or you trying to keep that person, or you want to look good in front of that person, or you trying to maintain your pride, or you know, got to be right. That thing, justifying or whatever the case may be. And so when you just get raw and get naked, right,
Mm-hmm.
then everything falls into place. But so many is so, and that's even when it come to mental health, right? Then we talking
Mm-hmm.
about that part too.
Yeah, we are. And I hope she'll be back soon. Give it a minute. Switch out banners. Definitely call now. Eight. Call 988. No, she ain't hit me up yet, but she will. Also, check out my anthology book for men or anybody dealing with stress, chaos in life. I get a minute to see if she come back before I just end it. Yeah, let's see. I thought she almost came back, but we'll see. But yeah, these are. I wrote this out Wednesday. And it came up about like good 16, 17 questions. And this part one. Gotta give it a minute, see if she pop back in. And part 2 next week gonna be some old heat and fire because we're gonna cover relationships and how the stuff affects it. Let's go.
Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, I was just saying how this part 1, those are the questions. Next week, this more fire, deal with relationships, how it affect them.
Mm.
I mean, God put them here. I came and Drone talking that sass and like, well, you the journalist supposed to be. All right. Yeah, I'm slapping from afar. That's my man. So I'm like, go ahead, put a little more work in. Make sure you have them fire questions when we have serious topics. And then we're gonna do something fun after part 2. We're gonna do something about music and some other stuff.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can so that's good. So we'll be talking about you said relationships, so romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then we'll really be talking about being naked and being raw. You know what I mean? Like really being naked and being vulnerable in front of people. So many people they don't want to do that. And so they
Nope.
come with a layer of protection, like you said, because people don't want to be hurt and you know, all of that survive. And
And
so
see, just give people a teaser of the first question for next week. If they want to chime in when we next week, it'll be: have you and your spouse partner had a conversation about each other's childhood or adult trauma?
oh
Curry, that half court shot. I got media credential. All right, I'm gonna talk about it. That right there, how the boy gonna start like, nah, but people don't think about that stuff.
Mm-mm.
So, how was this conversation? I think for part 1.
Mm.
How was this conversation for part 1?
It's good to me. I would like to ask the audience, how they felt the conversation was for our one. I think it's necessary though. So many times we try to sugarcoat or cover up
Yeah.
and it's like, we try to go through life once again, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, like everything is okay. I'm okay, I'm good. We wear that like a badge of honor, right? And you just stress
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You're not good. So let's start making it normal and habit to just be real, you know
Mm-hmm.
and let's be people that can accept realness too. Like don't be the person that because it's too real, it's uncomfortable. I want to walk around and pretend to be fake, the whole time. We all have pretenses. I mean saying that I ain't never walked around and been fake. I have. That's why I know and I can say like stop it. Take the mask off. Quit pretending that you okay. Right? We need to stop.
Oh, oh man, I mean that ex that was on my head for me and my mom. She's one that helped me confront emotional confrontation topics because I was the type, because I'm an artist. If I couldn't stand you because you did something hurt my little feelings, I write a song about it, but I never talk to you about it.
Talk about it like the head here go.
In the song, I'm gonna throw a piano at you, all that type of stuff. And I don't know what it was about that day. Like, nope, I always let you just go in the closet, close the door, and we just move on. No, you can deal with this. Call me a bitch, whatever you need to do. You're gonna talk to me, and we're gonna fix it. Like, she look aggressive right now. Okay, well, at least we're on the phone. She ain't in front of me.
Right.
And it did feel awkward and weird to have that conversation, but after we're done, it's like, okay, so how you feel? Like, well, I do feel better. Was it scary? Like, I thought so, but she knew how my mind works. I'm analytical. Like, nah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So talk to me now. Don't write a song.
Right.
Write a song about something awesome. Not you
Right.
can't stand my guts because you mad about whatever. And carry that with everybody. Tell everybody what's going on. Don't just hold it in. Like, okay, most confrontation ain't that bad. And that became a term I would use others. Like, well, fellas, we don't want most confrontation. Man, you in my head right now. Like, I know, I was the same one. Like, nah, man ain't got emotion. We're a Terminator. But we're not. We're a person.
I got crashed out.
Exactly. Man, that dude started swinging on everybody in the store like, huh? Oh, he mad about something. It wasn't him. He don't know y'all. So something the person he with triggered him, and he just crashed out. And probably wish he didn't, because now he dealing with a court case.
Mm-hmm.
So, like my best-selling anthology book with all my partners, helps men or anybody deal with anger and stress issue.
Come on now.
That's the point of this. First part we talked about you. Next week, how you and your mate dealing, because y'all both got some problems that y'all probably like, well, I'm fine, we're good. But the neighbors like, oh, about 10 o'clock, we hear them throwing bottles at each other. Like, them too? They pillars of the church. Them touch my imaginary pearls. Not them. Like, oh, yeah, them. You effing so-and-so? Like, yeah. But in church every week, and they human.
Right. We human beings.
We got emotions. Stuff happens.
Exactly. Yep.
You get angry, going to say how you really feel it in anger. You need to be addressed and so don't get to that point. But at that moment, I can't stand your thinking ass. Oh, you do what? And now y'all just over the cliff. Y'all therapists also like, why didn't y'all ever address this? Like, well, I'm a man. I ain't supposed like, don't give me that.
Right.
You got emotions. Well, I'm in my girlfriend, screw your girlfriends. Why don't you tell him? Why don't y'all tell each other? And then you both kind of feel like a child, like, dang, that's kind of silly. Like, yeah, now y'all want, you can go to church and come home, be peaceful. Not, man, they leave that seat up one more damn time. I'm gonna throw a shoe at them.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't the shoe, it ain't the toilet. It's just you at the last straw moment. They do something one more time, I'm pop it off. Because you ain't dealing with it.
That's good too. I think another thing is another great question is, are you willing to therapy?
Go ahead. Are you willing to what?
To go to couples therapy.
Add that to it.
Yeah, because like one of the
therapy.
that I shout out once again to First Lady and Pastor. I had asked that question of her when we had a session, and it was called Ask a Therapist, and we were able to ask her any question. And so one of the things I asked was, do you think it's good for couples to go to couples therapy? And so I think, and so she said yes. And so one of the things I was saying was like, should we go to couples therapy just because? Should we go to couples therapy before we get married? Or definitely, of course, when you're in a marriage? And it's like, why not go to couples therapy before? Because just like you said, have you sat down with your partner and talked about your childhood trauma? I'm sure you have, right? So.
Okay. That's added for the list for next week. What's your final thoughts? So I can get you out of here on time. We're doing good with time, 9:52.
We are. I'm excited. That's Jerome gonna be like, what?
Yeah, he better not be. You do without me. Like, you the co-host, man. We got some more heat for you.
For sure. I think it was some great topics. You know what I'm saying, that we brought up today. And my theme is it's all in communication, right? It's all in the conversation, and just continue to dig deep, face your trauma. Next week, Derek. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it, cuz.
Yeah, so dig deep, and do the work. And baby, it's gonna take some work, but it's okay. You'll be all right. You'll get through. Better to have gone through than to keep being in hiding and pretending that everything's okay when it's not. So. Okay.
My final words. We bringing the fun. Told you we ain't got a word at ground floor for what we are. Ain't no thousand but ain't no word. It's just that raw and real. Grown folk conversation for real.
For real.
Definitely share this episode with someone because they might need to hear that. Like, man, they pop off a lot. I'm just glad this go to this YouTube. No, I can share it to you. Go ahead and just watch that. See what it do for you. Maybe it'll help your spirit. And go get the book, Anthology. Unsnap, Man's Edition. Me and a few other great authors writing stories of our life to help others with their purpose, to calm down during the storm when you want to honk out on somebody. Read one of my chapters about our story. and see the solutions we found. So you don't hulk out and like, man, you tore up the stove beating up that person. You was upset, like, I did what? I don't remember, like, because you blanked out. When you get that upset, I don't remember doing that. And you not lying because you just crashed out. But it's just to help you not crash out. 2 for 1 day. Book in this episode, we got part 2 next week.
All
So
right.
be back next week at chime in like my cousin did. And we're going to enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. Till next time, everybody.
Peace.